Imagine if there was a simple way to increase your odds of success in any area, a way that doesn't depend on your natural talent, skill, or experience, a way that's supported by research and validated by some of the most successful people on the planet. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not. It's called the growth mindset, and it's one of the most important concepts I've ever discovered. The growth mindset is a term created by Carol Dweck, a psychologist who studied how people deal with challenges and failures. She found that people have two different mindsets, fixed and growth. The growth mindset is what distinguishes the achievers from the quitters. It's what makes Bill Gates, one of the richest and most influential people in the world, say that he's always learning new things and trying new methods. It's what makes NASA, the agency that sent humans to the moon and beyond, use the growth mindset as a key factor in selecting their systems engineers. People who embrace the growth mindset are convinced that, with effort, intelligence or skill in any domain can be cultivated. Essentially, they hold the belief that anyone can enhance their abilities in any field. The opposite of the growth mindset is the fixed mindset. Individuals with this mindset are of the opinion that intelligence and skill are inherent traits that we're born with. They believe that you're either born with talent or you're not, and there's no room for improvement. In essence, they believe intelligence is predetermined at birth. In this video, we'll delve into why the growth mindset is superior and how we can nurture it. We've touched on what the growth mindset entails, the conviction that intelligence and skill in any field can be nurtured. However, let's also discuss what it's not. It's not a magic formula. It won't guarantee that you'll achieve all your life's desires, nor will it transform you into the next Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. Nonetheless, it's an incredibly potent perspective through which to view the world, and it can enhance your chances of success. We all embody a blend of both the growth and fixed mindsets. In certain aspects of our lives, we operate with the growth mindset, while in others, we function with the fixed mindset. Because of this, I encourage you to envision both mindsets as a pair of spectacles. Some individuals don the growth spectacles more frequently, while others prefer the fixed ones. However, we all alternate between both pairs in various situations in our lives. That said, we should all aim to sport the growth spectacles far more than we do the fixed ones. But why is that? Well, a wealth of research indicates that individuals with the growth mindset tend to be more successful than those with the fixed mindset. For instance, one study discovered that students who embraced a growth mindset were 3 times more likely to score in the top 20% on the test, while students with a fixed mindset were 4 times more likely to score in the bottom 20%. Research has shown that when 7th graders were involved in a program promoting the growth mindset, they managed to sidestep the usual dip in grades that tends to occur during middle school. Individuals who adopt the growth mindset exhibit a higher level of resilience, enabling them to navigate through tough and challenging situations. They place a higher value on learning than on avoiding failure, which makes them more willing to take risks. They choose progress over stagnation. Conversely, those with a fixed mindset shy away from challenges because they believe that talent and intelligence are set in stone. They view failure as a personal attack. To them, a lack of knowledge equates to stupidity, and a single failure is seen as a perpetual state of failure. However, a person with a growth mindset believes that they are constantly evolving and transforming. Hence, they don't tie their identity to their outcomes. Instead, they concentrate on the journey of growth and learning. Few would dispute that the growth mindset aligns well with reality. Thanks to neuroscience, we know that the brain can continue to learn until our last breath. It also seems quite logical that success requires hard work and perseverance despite obstacles. Therefore, the growth mindset appears to be a more accurate reflection of reality than the fixed mindset. People with the growth mindset live in closer harmony with reality than those with the fixed mindset. They make decisions that are more aligned with the truth, whereas a person with a fixed mindset lives in a greater state of illusion. What does this mean? Picture 2 entrepreneurs, one with the growth mindset and one with the fixed mindset. Both are in the early stages of their entrepreneurial journey. Suddenly, they both hit a roadblock and are forced to make a decision. The entrepreneur with the fixed mindset sees the long and difficult journey ahead of her due to the roadblock. The journey stands in the way of what matters to her, the result. She believes that entrepreneurship should come naturally to those who are meant for it. She decides to give up. The entrepreneur with the growth mindset sees the long and difficult journey ahead of her and smiles. The journey is the path for her. The journey is what matters. Embracing the role of a learner, she accepts the long and difficult path as her mentor. She will allow it to shape her into the person she needs to become to achieve the results she desires. She decides to persevere. When we examine both of these examples, most of us would agree that the entrepreneur with the growth mindset has a better grasp of reality. Her decision is more truthful. We know that achieving anything requires time, effort, and strategy, but it's often challenging to put that kind of thinking into practice. So how can we cultivate the growth mindset? The first step is quite straightforward. Acknowledge its existence and understand that our brains have the capacity to change. Neuroscience has demonstrated that our brains are not static. They are incredibly adaptable. We always have the potential to grow and acquire new skills. For instance, a study revealed that taxi drivers developed additional gray matter in their brains to aid them in navigating large cities more efficiently. The study also found a correlation between the amount of gray matter in their brains and their years of experience as a taxi driver. This implies that the act of driving a taxi led to brain changes that enhanced their job performance. The second step is to prioritize the process over the outcome. Dweck suggests that we should commend others for their efforts and their process rather than their results. For instance, it's more beneficial to say your effective study habits and hard work really paid off in that test, rather than you're so intelligent, you got an A. In the first example, we're highlighting and praising the student's process, which is something they can control. Hopefully, they'll learn to associate themselves and their results with the process. However, in the second example, we praise the student for a result, which is ultimately beyond their control. Unfortunately, this student will likely start to associate themselves with the result. I think it's crucial to stress that instilling a growth mindset in others is not an easy task. It's not as simple as telling someone that they're a hard worker and that they just need to put in the effort. They need to internalize the idea that they can alter their results by modifying their process. So, they need to understand how to effectively create a process, adjust it, and generate results from that process. My proposed solution is to maintain a journal. Choose an activity that you want to excel at. For example, let's say that I want to become really proficient at math. In the journal, I would document my process for studying mathematics. I would outline the steps and assign a quantifiable measure to as many aspects as I can. For example, my process might look like this. Review my notes once a day. Solve 10 practice problems a day. Read the textbook for 60 minutes a day. And consult with my professor for 30 minutes a week. So, my process has been established and everything has been quantified.
Now, I need to set a result that I'm aiming for. I need a target. Let's say that I'm aiming for a grade of 80 or higher on my next exam. When I receive my exam grade, I compare it to my goal. If it's higher, then I know my system works. But I can still go back and modify parts of it to see if I can do even better. Or I can try and optimize it. Maybe I can spend less time reading the textbook and more time solving practice problems. If my grade is lower, I definitely need to go back and refine my process. I believe this method of keeping a journal, establishing a process, and refining it until the desired outcome is achieved will help foster a growth mindset. So, how can we nurture the growth mindset? The first step is surprisingly straightforward. Recognize its existence and understand that our brains have the capacity to evolve. This keeps our minds focused on a flexible process. The outcomes are evaluated and noted only as a reflection of how well our process functions. The process either works as planned or it doesn't. But it doesn't define a person. The process is always adaptable. It's not that it doesn't work, it just hasn't worked yet. Another great strategy is to seek guidance from peers and mentors. Look for those in the same position as you or those who have already accomplished what you're striving to achieve. Ask them about their process and see how yours compares. You might discover things that they do, or have done, that you would like to incorporate into your process. Read books about people you admire. Try to find details about their process that you can integrate into your own. Lastly, take on challenging tasks. To even stand a chance of fostering the growth mindset, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. People who don't venture out of their comfort zones start to believe that their success is due to innate talent because everything comes so easily to them. For instance, a student who is never challenged in school will start to believe that they are naturally intelligent. I get A's, therefore I'm smart, they might say. The result comes so easily to them that they don't even think about the process. Unfortunately, all they see is the results and they become attached to that. When they inevitably receive a poor grade, they will think that they're unintelligent. They lose confidence in themselves because they didn't achieve the results that they're used to receiving so effortlessly. On the other hand, stepping outside of your comfort zone forces you to adopt the growth mindset to avoid crumbling under the weight of adversity. You have to concentrate on and adjust the process because you can't possibly achieve the result you desire with your current process. By definition, that's what it means to step out of your comfort zone. You've learned what the growth mindset is, why it matters, and how to develop it. Remember that it takes a lot of work to develop and that it's always a challenge to prevent falling into the fixed mindset. People will do or say things, or things will occur that trigger a fixed mindset in us. It's important to be aware of this and try to avoid getting trapped in that state.